So, chat, I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard the news on social media about this Trump rally that took place in New York at Madison Square Garden. If you're a wrestling fan, this is the famous Madison Square Gardens that a lot of wrestling fans hold in very high regard. But this rally was this rally was something else, and a lot of interesting things came out of this. This rally alone may have turned the election from a close race, because if you looked at like the polls leading up to this rally, like the polls were like so close. We're talking like maybe 2 points ahead for Kamala, but like Trump's just like right behind her or something like that. Like it was a close race, okay? But like it seems like things have changed very drastically in Kamala's favor ever since this like rally happened. And it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, when you see what happened that kind of turned things around, it's going to make you think, what was Trump and his campaign thinking that they thought what we're about to look at was a good idea this close to election day? Chat, it's like, what, a week away from election day, right? A week away from election day, and they pulled this stunt this close to the election? Like, holy shit. I know this is gonna sound like a crazy statement, chat. This is going to sound like a crazy statement, but I saw, who was it? I think it was Gay Fesh said something similar to this.
Became a subscriber.
Thank you.
Sorry, I am late. I did not realize you're streaming.
No problem.
But I am here.
Welcome. Thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. But I think it was Gay Fesh on Twitter said something along these lines that it's gonna sound weird on the surface, but racism may have changed the trajectory of the like election in a positive way. I know that sounds insane, but you'll see what I'm saying in a second here. The best place to start is this. This was a comedian, Tony Hinchcliffe. I don't know how to pronounce his fucking name. This comedian said some absolutely insane shit at the Trump rally that has not been very well received. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at this. We're gonna see what this guy had to say.
Ow,
here we go.
Isn't this special?
All right, here we go. Let's see. Where does it actually? Here we go.
Ow, isn't this special? 17 years ago, I was sleeping in my car behind the Comedy Store in LA, and I'm proud to say this is my 4th time performing at Madison Square Garden.
Is he a comedian at all? I mean, apparently he's a comedian. I gotta be honest, I've never heard of this guy before. I think the funniest thing I've seen, because a lot of his jokes just don't land, the funniest, like, right-wing cope I've seen ever since this shit happened is that, no, this is this guy's shtick. His shtick is to bomb. And I'm like, come on. Come on. You actually expect me to believe that? You expect me to believe that shit? This guy's gimmick is that he bombs? Like, what kind of comedian is that?
The most famous arena in the damn world. The American dream alive and well right here. This is very different than where I'm used to performing, though. I'm used to nighttime with people drinking, not so many babies in the crowd, and people that are obviously only here for Lee Greenwood tonight.
I've seen some of his stuff, and he tends to make messed up jokes, but not always good ones, you know? I mean, that doesn't surprise me, considering what we're about to hear. This is one of those things where, like, maybe there is a setting where some, like, edgelords can tune into, like, this guy's comedy, maybe go to one of his stand-up sets or whatever, and think it's funny. But this is not the kind of person you want speaking during your presidential election campaign, you know, a week away from election day. That was not a good move.
Normally, I don't make my political beliefs a known thing. It's divisive for a comedian to do that, but just know I sleep well at night knowing who I'm voting for. Yeah. When I lay down and my head hits my pillow.
Oh God, my pillow.
It is a fantastic pillow, by the way.
I gotta tell you, those My Pillows, and I'm not just saying this because what's that dude? Mike Lindell, that's his name, right? Just because Mike Lindell is like a fucking like freak Okay, I'm not just saying it because he's a fucking freak, but prior to like the whole, sucking off Trump and everything like that, I don't know what it was. I've told this story on stream before. My wife got it in her mind that the thing she wanted more than anything for, I think it was her birthday, was a My Pillow. She's like, I've always wanted like a really good pillow. I want a My Pillow, right? So prior to COVID, prior to everybody knowing that Michael Lindell was like a fucking freak or whatever, she said, I want a My Pillow. That's all I want for my birthday. Get me a My Pillow because I need a good pillow and I hear those ones are really good. I bought her this fucking My Pillow and she used it for like 2 weeks before she realized, yeah, you know what? This thing kind of sucks. These pillows are kind of ass, She ended up giving me the My Pillow and we got her like a different pillow and I used it for a while and I'm like, yeah, this thing, not that great. And I ended up buying us some other like off-brand like memory foam type pillow and that pillow was so much better. But like the My Pillow thing, I don't get it. They're not great pillows.
I was staying at the Four Seasons up by Central Park one night, and I laid my head down, and it felt so good, and I thought to myself, what an amazing pillow. I have a little bit of money now. I could buy a good pillow. And I took the pillowcase off, and there it was. My pillow, my pillow, my pillow. And damn it, I bought 4 of them. And if you use the promo code KillTony, you can also buy 4 My Pillows.
Aren't they currently selling, aren't they having a sell where the My Pillows are literally priced at $14.88 a piece? I know that sounds like a fucking joke or like a fucking meme or something, but that's a real thing. If you guys don't believe me, let me see if I can bring that up. Let me see. My Pillow Twitter. Let me see if I can find, because I'm pretty sure they advertise this shit on the official My Pillow Twitter account. Where is it at? Where is it at? I don't know if they're still doing this sell. Here it is. You guys think I'm joking, but this is a real thing. $14.88. They were selling the My Pillow. If you use the promo code R277, you could buy the My Pillow for $14.88. I wish that was a joke, but no, this is a very real promotion that they did for this fucking pillow. That's more not exactly like it's literally, oh my God, unbelievable.
There's serious stuff happening, people. I live in the great state of Texas now. 18 years ago.
Right on the damn nose. Like, that's not even like letting the mask slip. That's full on mask off moment.
Ohio, 20 years in California, and I got to see California turn to absolute horrendous thing. And traveling the world, I got to see San Francisco turn into one of the most demented cities, one of the greatest downfalls I've ever seen. And that is where the other candidate worked for 2 decades. And you could
use that money to buy a Squishmallow instead. You could use probably, if you were to raise it like a few more bucks, you could probably find yourself a really nice body pillow with a hot ass like anime waifu. Like that would be much better use of your money.
Absolutely wild to see. And in Texas, stuff is really, really crazy. We're right there by a wide open border. Where are my proud Latinos at tonight? You guys see what I mean? It's wide open. There's so many
Latinos that are excited to, like, you ever seen that meme? You ever see that meme of like, it's a video of like a lobster that's trying to crawl out of a pot, and in the process of, or it's not a pot, but like, it's like a dish that's on the side of a pot, right? A pot of like boiling grease or whatever, like heated up grease. And so there's a bunch of like lobsters in this like dish or whatever, and one of them tries to crawl out to escape, and as he crawls out to escape, he instantly like lands in the grease, right? Like the often thing that you'll see associated with that meme is it'll be like, queer people voting for Trump. That's the same thing that's like Latinos voting for Trump, okay? Like you're just like voting for the guy who wants you out of this fucking country. Like, what the fuck?
Many of them. It's absolutely incredible. Believe it or not, people, I welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this.
Yeah, it's so insane, right? Let me talk about how much I love like Latinos, and then like seconds later talk about how much I don't want them here. Like, that's fucking wild.
It's wild. And these Latinos,
Yeah.
they love making babies too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country.
Jeez. You know, in any other setting, you know, as somebody who is a Latino, okay, in any other setting, like, Latinos would probably find that joke funny. Because one thing Latinos take pride in is the fact that they do have a lot of fucking kids, okay? Like, this is a true thing, all right? And I can say this because I'm Mexican, but like, yeah, in any other setting, people would find this funny. Latinos would find this funny. In this setting, though, not so much.
Republicans are the party with a good sense of humor. Free speech is under attack, people. I host a show, and each week I get updates what words we're allowed to use and not use anymore. It's happening right now. The past
They were going to call Kamala the C word at the rally, too, by the way. Oh my God, I didn't know that.
few years. It's a real thing. And, you know, used to be able to tell people to Google stuff. My mom's a boomer in the state of Ohio, and there's no convincing her of anything. She's eating the cats. She's eating the dogs. They're eating
The stupid eating the pets things is like the stupidest fucking thing ever. It's like, it's the prime example of just how gullible, like, conservative MAGA Trump supporters are. Because, like, they could say something, right? You can tell them something, and they just will, like, buy it no matter what, right? Just no matter what. And it doesn't matter how much evidence you present to them to show them it's not true, or, like, how much it's bullshit or whatever. It's just like, no, but. Like, they can't be reasoned with. They're very insane people.
pets up there. It is absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And, you know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage.
Okay, so this is the of all the fucked up things he's already said, this is the line that got him the most heat. I'm gonna start it at the start here. Hold on. Let me see. Let's go here.
Really, really is. And, you know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay.
Bro, even the crowd booed him on that one. Even the crowd booed him on that one.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
And here's the thing, right? First of all, there's two things at play here that don't make sense to me, okay? Two things at play here that do not make sense to me, right? The first thing is, what is up with Trump going really hard and rallying in states that he's never going to win in the first place? Like, during this rally, he's in New York, okay? This is like a very strongly blue state, okay? What made him think he was going to win this state to begin with? It seems like a waste of resources to have a rally in a state you're never going to win anyway. Not that long ago, he was in my home state of California. All right? Trump is never going to win California. But in any case, he chose to use his money to rally in a state that he was never going to win to begin with. By the way, thank you for the $2 super chat. Why did this country break back in 2016? I don't know what you mean by that, but I'm sorry that the notification didn't play. I'm not sure why that didn't go off, but thank you for the super chat either way. But yeah, that's the first thing that doesn't really make sense. Why is he doing rallies in these states that he's not going to win to begin with? Secondly, there is a very large Puerto Rican population in New York. Okay, if you know anything about New York, and I got to tell you, most of the people I know that, like, I know came from New York, and they've like moved like to where I live in California, like friends I've made that are from New York, so many of them are either Italian or Puerto Rican. Okay, there are a lot of Puerto Ricans in New York. Why the fuck would you have someone tell a joke like that at your rally so close to the election? Like I said, we're a week away. This is a crucial time for the election. This is the last time you would want to do anything to fuck up. And this was a colossal fuck up for Trump's campaign.
We're getting there. Again, normally I don't follow the national anthem, everybody.
Exactly. This is very tone deaf. It's beyond tone deaf. This is true, chat.
This isn't exactly a perfect comedy setup. There's some people here. All right. Very good. I like it. I have other policies that I think it should be implemented as well. Like me personally, I think football should be all year round. Yeah. So many great athletes.
I mean, Vince McMahon thought that football should be all year round too, and we've seen how well that went. The first time it didn't go so fucking great, and the second time it didn't go so great either. So, yeah, I'm sure there are people that agree football year round. It's like America's favorite sport, but I don't know, man. Every time people try, it just doesn't work.
I don't know about you guys, but I think that Travis Kelce might be the next O.J. Simpson.
Jeez.
Feels good in here. The other side's got a lot of crazy endorsements. Swift, Eminem, Leo DiCaprio, Beyonce. Every day the Democratic Party looks more and more like a P. Diddy party.
Okay, I think I might see why the alerts aren't playing for the YouTube people. I'm going to go ahead and fix that. My apologies, chat. I don't know why those weren't enabled. It looks like they were disabled. My apologies, chat. Oh, these are disabled too? No way. Let's fix that. Let's fucking fix that. Okay. My apologies for that. But let me go ahead and read that super chat since the alerts were disabled and I didn't even know. Mo Moon says, well, he went to the blood red part of SoCal, rich folks. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. But even so, like, I just don't understand what's the point in rallying in a state that you're never going to win. You're absolutely never going to win that state.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's what you guys want. All right. Heck yeah. It's a cool black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that? A lampshade? Look at this guy.
What the fuck?
Oh my goodness. Wow.
This is comedy? This is what MAGA voters consider comedy? This like I understand that comedy is like subjective and like what one person may find funny, like the next person is going to find funny, and that's fine. You know, there's different brands of comedy for different types of people and whatnot, but I'm sorry. Like I actually enjoy some really edgy humor, but like, my God, this is a fucking shit show.
I'm just kidding. That's one of my buddies. He had a Halloween party last night. We had fun. We carved watermelons together. It was awesome. You guys this is a groany little morning crowd, huh? It's
Jeez, and they wonder why we think they're all a bunch of racists and Nazis and shit. God damn.
to follow this audition for the next Commissioner Gordon's over here. It is, though. It's crazy times.
This isn't comedy. This is dog whistles. I mean, no fucking shit. Man uncomfortably resisting saying the N-word. I know, right?
Living in. I mean, all these pointless wars. It is unbelievable what's happening right now. It is incredible. Ukraine versus Russia, Israel, it's like bad soccer games. Who even cares? What are we doing? Why is our money involved in these wars? When it comes to Israel and Palestine, we're all thinking the same thing. Settle your stuff already. Best out of 3. Rock, paper, scissors. You know the Palestinians are going to throw rock every time.
People are literally being slaughtered, dude. Like, I'm not the type of person that's going to go on some, like, you know, what is it, virtue signal or whatever about how, like, that's insensitive to joke. I think you can joke about pretty much anything, but there's like a line, right? There's a line in the sense of like, sure, you can joke about something controversial like that, but you have to be a really good comedian to be able to joke about something as much of a sensitive issue as that and actually make it funny. And I'm sorry, but this guy's just not cutting it. Like, it's just not working, dude. Whatever your day job is, fucking like flipping burgers at McDonald's, putting the fucking fries in the bag, whatever the fuck, stick to your day job, bro, because this comedy thing just ain't working.
We also know the Jews have a hard time throwing that paper. You know what I'm saying? All right, we're having fun now. We're cooking. Hillary Clinton said that this is a Nazi rally here today.
I mean, based on some of your jokes right now, it's pretty easy to see why people might think that. You know what I mean?
Can you believe that? For the most anti-war president of my entire lifetime, and she calls him Hitler. Let me remind you, Hillary.
This is, okay, chat. Before her channel got terminated, you guys ever see the stand-up comedy that Lauren Chen did? I wanted to react to it for you guys on stream, but unfortunately, when her channel got struck down because it turned out she was being paid by the Russians, when her channel got, like, taken off the internet, you know, that footage is gone. But having said that, I remember watching Riverboat Jack, fellow, you know, streamer. Shout out to Riverboat Jack, friend of the channel. I remember watching Riverboat Jack react to that, and it was like one of the worst like stand-up comedy bits I had ever seen in my life. I think this is worse than that. As insane as it sounds, I genuinely think this is worse than that.
It was your husband who shot innocent people, or as he called them, interns. Yeah, Hillary, I bet you did not see that one coming. By the way, if I commit suicide in 3 weeks, I didn't. I mean, it's just obvious.
Larry the Cable Guy is funnier than this guy. Hey, don't do Larry the Cable Guy like that, all right? I like the blue-collar comedy guys. Those guys are actually kind of fucking funny. Especially Ron White. That's a funny motherfucker right there, okay?
To me who the right candidate is. There's a guy.
I'm not even usually like the biggest fan of like white boy comedy, but those blue collar guys, those are funny guys.
Out here dodging bullets. It is unbelievable, right?
You got a Riverboat Jack mod in the chat right now. Let's fucking go. By the way, Erica, it's been a while since I've seen you here. Welcome to the chat. Happy to see you.
He took it right in the ear. Unbelievable. I thought about this. I don't know if you have. Coolest place to get shot.
Haven't thought about Ron White in a minute. My favorite joke by Ron White is the one where he talks about how he's talking to, I think it's his brother-in-law, and he's trying to explain to his brother-in-law that everybody's a little bit gay, and his brother-in-law's like, I ain't gay, and he's like, you are a little gay, and I can prove it to you. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. He could tell the joke a lot better than I can. And basically, he starts going into, like, you know, when you watch porn, do you only watch, like, two women making love? He goes, no, I'll watch a man and a woman making love. And then he'll say, when you are watching a man and a woman making love, do you like, you know, a guy who's got like a limp dick penis or whatever? He goes like, no, I like big heart throbbing. And it's like, oh shit, you know, it's like one of those things, right? So that's such a good joke by Ron White. Like, I'd show you guys the clip, but it would get me copyright claim. But look it up sometime. I know somebody uploaded it to YouTube. Really, really, really funny one. Ron White's like best material.
Like, if you're gonna get shot anywhere.
But it's true though, okay? It's true though. To the cisheads in the chat, tell me, like, if you're watching some adult entertainment, like, nobody wants to watch a limp dick bumping up against some like hot chick or whatever. Like, no, of course not. What the fuck?
Your body. That's where you want it. Right there. Technically, he got shot in the head.
Typical tipster stream. We can't go one stream without talking about fucking porn. Sorry, chat. It's just what we do around here.
Depending on if you're a Democrat or a Republican. Right? If you're a Democrat, his ear was grazed. If you're a Republican, he survived a headshot. It is. It's the best place to get shot. It's the only part of the human body will drive a piercing through like a little girl's ear for no reason. Right? There's just it heals fast. Nobody cares. It's the best place to get shot. He went down, saw blood on his hands. I'd imagine he thought right then, I think I just won this shit.
I mean, in all fairness, like, I can't begin to tell you how many people I've seen that are like fellow leftists who were like so downer pilled when like that happened. They're like, this motherfucker won the fucking election. He fucking won the election. Like, we thought for sure. And then like Kamala came out of left field and she just like, it was like the most insane thing. I talked about how like the initial excitement around Kamala, I hadn't seen that much excitement around a candidate since Barack Obama. Like, it was literally that. But yeah, there were so many people who saw that and they were like, this fucking guy won. This fucking guy won. I think the only thing that like really turned it around, other than obviously Kamala, taking on the candidacy, was the fact that, after the initial investigation was done, they're like, oh, the guy who shot him, actually, it was a Republican. Because everybody was thinking, oh, it's probably going to be, some leftists and the right wingers are going to like run with this shit forever. And no, it was a fellow Republican. He got shot by one of his own fucking people.
Stands up and says the most American words I've ever heard in my life. No. Before that, there was one more. Let me get my shoes.
I mean, that part of the video was kind of funny, but his delivery of the fact that happened wasn't so funny. But like, go back and watch that video and you could literally hear through the microphone, Trump's like, let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes. Like, what the fuck? Did like the Secret Service like tackle him so hard they just knocked him out of his shoes? Like, what the fuck?
Fearless. Perhaps still with an active shooter. He's talking like a guy that just had the best one night stand of his life. Right? Like, where's my shoes at? I gotta get the hell out of here. Let me get my shoes. And then the fight. What he did was so cool that Biden got COVID.
The fact that this election is still a coin flip even after this rally is so frustrating. I mean, I haven't checked the polls after this happened. And honestly, like the dust is still settling on this. So like maybe they haven't even run like the latest polls yet. But like the tide has turned quite a bit on social media, at least in terms of how things are perceived after this rally. Like, maybe I'm a little bit biased because obviously like I'm on left-wing Twitter or whatever. But I can't begin to tell you how much the tide has shifted on social media in regards to how people feel about Kamala's chances in this election after this rally. It's nuts.
COVID.
Yeah, I think the polls post MSG are still coming. I'm definitely interested in seeing what the numbers look like after this, because this has been a shit show.
Yeah. Go back, look at the timeline of everything again. 3 days after that. That means that Biden, he didn't get that from hanging out with sick people. He was in a sterile room in the White House watching blood running down Trump's face as he pumps his fist. Biden's like, oh, fuck. Oh, God, no. It's true. Trump survived an assassination attempt and Biden got COVID. We vote next week. God voted 3 months ago.
3 million people have already voted in NC, and the women are coming out in droves. Mark Robinson is toast. I know I already, like, obviously there's like a lot of like early voters and stuff like that, which I think is awesome. I actually already turned in my mail-in ballot here in California. And the cool thing is, like, my county, like they make it really easy to track where your ballot is. So not only has my ballot been received, but it's already been counted. Tippy's vote is already being counted towards the election. true.
Another great Austin, Texas resident, Elon Musk, will be speaking here later today.
I actually talked, I think it was last night, to Gay Fesh about that. And I was like, yeah, you know, because we were talking about another topic we're going to cover tonight, which is the ballot box burnings that happened or whatever in a couple of states. So that's a topic we're going to cover a little bit later. But Gay Fesh was talking to me about that. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm really lucky. You know, I mailed in my ballot, you know, like a week ago, and it's already been received and counted. And he's like, yo, that's awesome. And I'm like, yeah, let's go Jill Stein. I'm obviously joking, but like, I don't know. I have a feeling like I typed that in and Fesh was like, what? Who? Maybe not, but it would have been, I could imagine like their face, like you voted for who? But no, I didn't actually vote for Jill Stein.
Unbelievable. Genius. You guys saw him shoot that rocket into outer space, the largest aircraft ever, fires it off into space, and then parallel parks it back to planet Earth. Meanwhile, Kamala supporters can't parallel park their Toyota Priuses properly.
Who still makes... does Toyota even... Like, real question, because I haven't heard anybody say anything about Toyota Priuses in ages. Does Toyota even still make the Prius? I don't even know. That's like the first Prius joke I've heard since like the mid-2000s.
Sorry, I listen to Elon Musk.
They still do?
I follow his lead. The world's smartest, richest man.
Does anybody even still buy Priuses? I can't tell you the last time I seen a new Prius on the road. So if they are still making them, who's buying them? Honestly.
Has my attention. Except for when it comes to stock trading, then I listen to Nancy Pelosi. But censorship is amongst us, people. It's a very, very, very big deal. And I'm just here to say that you guys are for the right candidate. Tell your friends. Let's close it out. And let's make speech free again. Make America healthy again. Let's beat the team from California. The team from New York should beat the team from California, not only in this election, but in the World Series of Baseball, America's sport. I love you, New York. God bless New York. God bless America. Let's make it great again. I love you.
This guy was probably thrown into a few lockers in his time. Yeah, probably, honestly. So there was that. And as you can tell, that was fucking insanity on like so many levels. Like some of the shit that was said during that very terrible comedy stand-up comedy bit, like it was a fucking nightmare. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at some of the reactions to this. We have Kamala HQ playing a bit of a montage of the night, because even though that comedian bombed really fucking bad, they're not even the only person that night to say some insane shit. We have CNN plays montage of Trump rally speakers going on vile, racist, and anti-American rants last night. Let's have a listen.
These Latinos, they love making babies too. Just know that. They do.
Let me go ahead and boost the audio a little bit, because it's a little bit quiet. It's a little bit quiet. Here we go. That should be good. Here we go.
They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle.
Oh, I have that pulled up, Ellen. We're going to take a look at that, because this is the funniest fucking shit ever. They are trying so hard, as you'll see in a little bit, they are trying so hard to distance themselves from the comments that this motherfucker made, that Trump's campaign on Trump's official Twitter account put out probably the cringiest fucking tweet I have ever seen. And Trump over the years has posted a lot of cringy fucking tweets. Who remembers after Trump got COVID and he recovered from COVID when he was still in office during his last term, who remembers that cringy fucking, like, it was like a Marvel movie trailer style, like, fucking video that he put out of him, like, flying in from a helicopter onto, like, the lawn of the White House and, like, slowly walking back up to, like, the White House, and, you know, he's like having a hard time breathing at the front of the White House. Like, holy shit.
Middle of the ocean right now.
I wish I could find that video because it's the funniest thing ever. They play this like crazy dramatic music. I kid you not, it's like a Marvel movie trailer. Like, seriously.
Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. It's a cool black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that? A lampshade? I'm just kidding. That's one of my buddies. He had a Halloween
Somebody in
party
chat
last
remembers
night.
it.
We had fun. We carved watermelons together. It was awesome.
She is some sick Hillary Clinton, huh? What a sick son of a. The whole party, a bunch of degenerates.
She is the devil, whoever screamed that out. She is the Antichrist. It's going to be pretty hard to look at us and say, you know what? Kamala Harris, she got 85 million votes because she's just so impressive. As the first Samoan, Malaysian, low IQ, former California prosecutor ever to be elected president.
After those disgusting warm-up acts, Trump then ratcheted up his incendiary, vengeful rhetoric.
I will launch the largest deportation program in American history. Going to get the criminals out.
All the, you know, Latinos earlier that cheered on, you know, the comedian. Can I get some love from all the Latinos in the house? Like, this is the guy you're voting for. Like, he wants you to leave the fucking country.
I will rescue every city and town that has been invaded and conquered. And when I say the enemy from within, the other side goes crazy. Becomes a sound of, oh, how can he say? No, they've done very bad things to this country. They are indeed the enemy from within. But this is who we're fighting. They're the enemy of the people, the press.
Okay, so there's that clip there. What else do we got here? We have Sonny Hostin. I probably butchered their name. You guys know me. I butcher names all the time. On Trump rally speaker, calling Puerto Rico garbage. We know how to take the trash out, Trump. Trash that has been collecting since 2016, and that's you, Donald Trump. And finally, my fellow Puerto Ricans, trash collection day is November 5th, 2024. Jeez, based.
This Puerto Rican has something to say about the island that I love, where my family is from. Puerto Rico is trash. We are American.
Okay, as a side note, I hate Google Chrome with a passion. I don't know what the fuck Google has done to the Chrome browser, but if you ever see my good friend and mod Chasing Dopamine in the chat, in Twitch chat saying, hey, YouTube chat's not loading. Tipster, YouTube chat's not loading. This is why. Fuck Google Chrome. Literally fuck Google Chrome.
Americans.
It's fixed
Donald
now.
Trump. Americans.
Use Opera GX. The funny thing is I use Opera GX as the browser that I share things on stream with you. But like, yeah, I've been a Chrome user for years, and like, it might be time to move away from Chrome. It might be time, chat. I'm so sick of this fucking, and I understand that like YouTube announced that they were going to make Chrome run like shit if you're using like ad blocker on their browser while watching YouTube. I have never, I mean this, by the way, I have never had an ad blocker installed. There's no reason for me to have an ad blocker installed. I have YouTube Premium. Fucking Chrome dog shit browser.
We voluntarily serve disproportionately high in the military, while you have bone spurs. And we vote. Pennsylvania is home to almost 500,000 Puerto Ricans. North Carolina, 115,000. Georgia, 100,000. Arizona, 64,000. Wisconsin.
There are a lot of Puerto Ricans in the United States. And as I mentioned, New York, where this rally took place, there are a ton of them. A ton of them. What was he thinking?
Wisconsin, 61,000. Michigan, 43,000. Nevada, 27,000. We vote Donald Trump. Trash. And by the way, Jennifer Lopez, Ricky Martin, Bad Bunny, Luis Fonsi, and Mark Anthony have over 345 million followers on Instagram. I think you only have 26 million, since you care so much about size. And we don't like what was said about Puerto Rico. And we know how to take the
You know, the kind of people, this is something that's been said, you know, for quite some time, you know, especially when it comes to dudes. The kind of people who are really obsessed with the size of things, the size of their cars, the size of their buildings, the size of their, you know, bank account, the size of their crowds in this case. The kind of guys that obsess about crowd size and stuff like that. The kind of guys that obsess about the size of things and how big their stuff is. They're usually overcompensating for something, okay?
trash out Donald Trump. Trash that has been collecting since 2016. And that's you, Donald Trump. And finally,
I mean, if that is the case, it makes sense why every time you see, you know, Melania Trump, you know, not wanting to show any level of like, you know, basically like intimacy or anything with him in public, any display of affection, it makes a whole lot of sense when you consider it that way, because she's very unsatisfied in her marriage, if you know what I mean.
my fellow Puerto Ricans, Trash Collection Day is November 5th, 2024. Don't forget it. You know?
Damn, that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, what else do we have here? So we have AOC commenting on the comments that were made at the rally. So let's take a look at that, chat. Here we go.
This morning, the Trump campaign is playing cleanup, trying to distance the campaign and the candidate from...
That's so funny. You know you done fucked up when Trump's campaign is trying to distance itself from you. Jesus.
Comments made from the stage at his big rally yesterday here in New York. Comedian Tony Hinchcliffe was among the warm-up acts to speak, and here's what he said.
I welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this. These Latinos, they love making babies too. Just know that. They do. They do. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of
AOC's comments on this are really good. I actually haven't watched them yet. This will be my first time watching them.
the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
God.
Joining us right now, Democratic Congresswoman from New York, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Thanks for being here. You called this out last night. You were hanging out with Tim Walz. You guys were streaming. You called it out.
That was awesome, by the way. She was streaming with Tim Walz and he was playing Crazy Taxi. Let me tell you, chat. Okay, it's been talked about the fact that this guy was like a big Dreamcast guy back when the Sega Dreamcast was a thing. He was on a live stream with AOC playing Crazy Taxi. I just got to tell you guys, chat. That is my fucking VP. The more you find out about Tim Walz, the more you just can't help but love him.
Last night. Fresh eyes on it this morning when you see that remark and you see now that comedian responding to you guys. I'll read a bit of it for you. I know you've seen it, but for everyone out there, these people have no sense of humor. While that a vice presidential candidate would take time out of his busy schedule to analyze.
Is it sad that I want to vote for him just for that reason? No. Vote for him for any reason. I don't care how stupid your reason is. If your reason is that he plays Crazy Taxi, go right ahead. Give him and his running mate your vote.
Like a joke taken out of context to make it seem racist. I love Puerto Rico and vacation there. I made fun.
They will take any vote, no matter how stupid the reason.
I made fun of everyone. Watch the whole set. I'm a comedian, Tim. Might be time to change your tampon, is what he ends it with. What does it mean today? What does it do today?
You know, this honestly isn't really about a comedian. This is about the Trump campaign. Those comments and that individual saying those things on that stage, inciting an entire arena of individuals who have been previously incited to commit attacks like the ones we saw on January 6th by people like Donald Trump, none of that was an accident. These campaign events are put together, they are vetted. That language was vetted by the Trump campaign, that person was approved by the Trump campaign because he is speaking.
Jesus, CNN. What's up with your leftist audio?
On behalf of the Trump campaign. And I think it's really important that people understand that when we see everything that's happening, what is being transmitted and said about Latinos in the United States is exactly what the Trump campaign means. He believes that Latinos, as we've seen, are an unimportant...
Audio problem? Yeah, it's their audio. It's not mine.
Unvalued and unnecessary part of the United States of America. And when Stephen Miller comes on and talks about America for Americans, he's not even talking about U.S. citizens as Americans, because Stephen Miller kind of flirts with this idea of taking away U.S. citizenship from people depending on his own personal opinions about what being an American means. And so the Trump campaign is very clearly transmitting who they believe is an American and who they don't, not based on citizenship, but based on ethnicity and based on their opinion.
I mean, it's true, honestly. I mean, that's what the craziest thing. I will never understand why there is such a large population of Latinos, because there are a large population of Latinos who do vote for Trump. They are Trump voters, and I'll never understand that, because he will take your vote. Don't get me wrong, he will take your vote, but like, he does not want you here. He wants to send you back where you came from, or back where your family came from. He does not want you here. So I will genuinely never understand why there is such a large population of Latinos that will vote for Trump. It doesn't make sense.
Donald Trump.
When we look back at the numbers and the gains he has made with Latino voters since 2016, from 2016, depending what you're looking at with the numbers now, you see a 9-point gain. You've seen Harris I've seen 12 points fewer than Hillary Clinton got in 2016. Seen some recent gains in some new polling just out yesterday that she's making with Latino voters. How do you explain it? How do you explain that Trump is making ground with?
See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, look at that shit. Okay, look at that turnaround for like Latino voters, because this shit I don't get it. Okay, I know I already said this earlier in the segment, but I don't get it. Why would you have such a colossal fuck up so close to election day? Like, this is a huge fuck up to have so close to election day, right? If you were to take a look at these numbers, like Latino voters and who they're likely to vote for, this number would be much closer prior to that fucking rally. Jesus. He shot himself in the fucking foot by letting that guy speak at his rally.
With Latino voters, how do you explain it? How do you explain that Trump is making ground with Latinos?
You know, I think ironically it's because he realized that he needed to keep his mouth shut with his bigotry for a very long period of time in order to try to make some kind of disingenuous case to the Latino community. But the fact
you don't believe him when he speaks to it.
Pardon?
You don't. You said disingenuous. You do not think when he speaks to Latino voters, when he speaks to helping them, helping community.
Come on. I don't understand how any Latino could actually believe that he has any of their best interests in mind, when like his whole position, like if you look at the thing that he harps on the most, it's literally mass deportation of people he views as like basically undesirables in our country. Like, and he's talking a lot of what he's talking about is Latinos. So like, I don't understand why anyone who is Latino would want to vote for him. It just, as a Latino myself, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. It's so confusing.
In Nevada, speaking to workers.
No. I mean, you don't insinuate that Latinos are un-American or less American if you actually value them. He wants to be president of the United States. He'll say what he needs to say, but at the end of the day, when you look at what Kamala Harris does, she actually ironically unveiled her platform and plan for Puerto Rico yesterday, before that rally even started.
When he says the enemy within, he literally means anyone who doesn't agree with him or are not white. I mean, yeah, pretty much. Honestly, that's literally, when I heard him say the enemy within, I'm just like, that literally reeks of like Nazi Germany, like anti-Semitic propaganda. But in this case, instead of like targeting, Jewish people, this time it's targeting, immigrants to this country. Most of like a large majority of which are Latino. So like when I hear that, like that's insanity to me. That is extremist rhetoric without question.
And that plan involves actually addressing the displacement crisis that Puerto Rico.
And this is why people look at like MAGA Trump supporters as like Nazis and shit like that. Because like, how would you support a guy like that, right? That's saying the most insane shit like that. It's fucking wild.
Are facing right now, the displacement of doctors and teachers, the closures of schools and public facilities, the lack of investment in infrastructure, and as a Puerto Rican American, extremely concerned about people using tax loopholes to displace people in Puerto Rico. She's actually trying to see and solve and create opportunities for Puerto Rican Americans. And you see the contrast of Donald Trump maybe trying to distract from the fact that he has no economic plan for Latinos in general, but also not only that, blaming economic issues, for example, our housing crisis, on Latinos and on immigrants. Instead of actually coming up with a plan to help lower our cost of rent and mortgages, he's coming out here just trying to blame immigrants for the fact that it's actually his buddies and friends that are driving up the cost of housing in America.
Up on the chat says the USA has no place for ethnic nationalism. It is an immigrant nation. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like when you hear people talk about America and like what our strengths are in America, like one of the most common things you'll hear is our strength is our diversity. How many different cultures we have, how many different, immigrants have come here to kind of like contribute to like a lot of the diversity of our nation and a lot of the different cultures we have in our nation. And like, how many, it just like, that's one of the things we constantly tout as one of our strengths, right? So it's just insane to me to hear somebody who's running for the president of this country talking about how he wants to get immigrants out of here, because it's just like, that's literally like one of the things we literally celebrate as one of our strengths as part of this country, but like he wants to do this like mass deportation of immigrants, and he's not super clear on what he means by immigrants. And I think that's intentional, right? Like the narrative that he wants to give to your like everyday common conservatives is just like, oh, well, illegal immigrants, we just want to get rid of the illegals. But like, it's so much more than that, right? It's so much more than that.
Speaking of the broader campaign, I've seen Trump-aligned PACs. I've seen it on air and I've seen it digitally. Trump-aligned PACs have used you in ads to hit Kamala Harris, saying to label her San Francisco liberal is the term that they often use again and again.
Right, that's the craziest thing, right, Sadness? Trump's own wife is an immigrant. I was literally thinking about that earlier today. He has such a bizarre hatred for immigrants in this country. His own wife is an immigrant. What the fuck? You have to imagine that with how much he speaks about, immigrants in this country and how much they need to go, you have to imagine that makes his wife feel pretty fucking shitty, right? I don't know. Like, if I were his wife, I'd be pretty fucking pissed off.
Do you think your support for her hurts her with moderate voters, which we have very clearly seen in the recent weeks that she's making a direct appeal to?
I don't think so. And I think that bears...
Tipster, they keep saying they want to deport 20 million illegal immigrants, even though all studies point to there only being 11 million undocumented in this country. Yeah, it's pretty nuts, right? It's pretty nuts. It's almost like if you pay close enough attention, you can see the true nature of their intentions when they're talking about mass deportations, right? If you pay close enough attention, you can see what they really aim to do.
Out in the data and the evidence, not just a matter of personal opinion. I work very closely alongside many of my colleagues across the House Democratic Caucus, and they are of all different kinds of political opinions. And frankly, I think moderate voters and everyday people see right through some of these scare tactics for what they are. They see how they are exaggerations. They see that these are kind of just baseless attacks. And that's made evident by the fact that I'm proud to be able to support, swing district Democrats, and they're not afraid of these attack ads. They're just not landing and they're not effective.
Flip side of this, she has gone on a whole tour with former Congresswoman, Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney to try to win moderate Republicans. I mean, looking back, you and Liz Cheney in the House, you guys butt heads on issues over and over again. She calls Liz Cheney a true patriot when they were campaigning together. Is that hurting Kamala Harris with more progressive voters?
Well, listen, I think there's plenty of people that aren't happy about that. And I think that is part of the nature of putting together a coalition. I don't love it, but that doesn't mean that we aren't on the same team and we aren't on the same page when it comes to who is unequivocally the better candidate in order to win the presidential election.
On the issues, her evolution on positions, and she's explained the evolution on her positions from 4 years ago, fracking, border wall, border security, Medicare for all. They have moved from more progressive to more moderate. That's the direction you very clearly see in this election. Do you like that she is doing that? Do you like that shift?
I think that my stances on these issues are very clear. I believe that every single American has the right to health care, and we should be working to guarantee to improve and expand Medicare and lower the age of eligibility to 0. And that's my goal. I also believe that we need
John in the chat says not all immigrants have the same experiences as am I pronouncing that? Probably not. I'm really bad at pronunciations. My apologies. Who married a sugar daddy had it much easier than your average immigrant and is less likely to show solidarity for that reason. Yeah, honestly, that's a fair point. That's actually a really fair point since you put it that way.
We need to have a real plan to document people who wish to come into the United States and contribute to our growing economy and really be part of what is charging the economy, which is frankly also what bears out in the data. That's not a matter of personal opinion. The American economy thrives because of our immigrant population, the way that we address the crisis.
Dana Bash needs a Peabody for the work she has done this year. Yeah, some of the greatest coverage I've seen this year in regards to election season has been a lot of like Dana Bash coverage. So you're not wrong. She's done some great work during this election.
Crisis is by actually providing a path to citizenship and documenting people. And when it comes to the climate crisis, our time is ticking down. But what I believe is that the Democratic Party is a coalition, and the stronger we make our case and the stronger that we say we need to get big money out of politics, we need to tax these billionaires so that to the point that they stop manipulating our economy and squeezing the working class, I know what candidate the progressive flank has a fighting chance with. And it's not Donald Trump, it's Kamala Harris.
Congresswoman, thank you for coming in this morning.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so there's that. What else do we got here? We got Kamala HQ, Vice President Harris. I announced my plan for Puerto Rico, and I'm proud to have the support of folks like Bad Bunny and Jennifer Lopez. People are exhausted with Trump and that nonsense we saw last night at Madison Square Garden. Okay, so this is Kamala's comments on what happened.
Donald Trump this is not new about him, by the way. What he did last night is not a discovery. It is just more of the same and maybe more vivid than usual. Donald Trump spends full time trying to have Americans point their finger at each other. Fans the fuel of hate.
I mean, she's not wrong. I mean, look at like his rhetoric in the past when it comes to like immigrants coming from like Mexico, talking about them sending like criminals and rapists and like drug dealers and stuff like that. Some of them are good people. Some of them are good people, according to him. But yeah, like this is not something new for him. This is something we've heard from him time and time again.
And division. And that's why people are exhausted with him. That's why people who formerly have supported Donald Trump, have voted for him, are supporting me, voting for me. People are literally ready to turn the page. They're tired of it. In terms of Puerto Rico,
it's pronounced Slovenian. Is that how Slovenian? Is that how you pronounce it? I think that's how you typed it phonetically. Thank you.
Even when I was in the United States Senate, knowing that Puerto Rico does not have a United States senator, I was intentional about doing what I could.
Isn't Bad Bunny the biggest musical artist at the moment? I don't know if I'd go as far as to say they're the biggest musical artists at the moment. They're pretty big, though. They're pretty noteworthy. Admittedly, I've never listened to any of their stuff, but yeah, they're pretty noteworthy.
The United States Senator to make sure that among my priorities, it included paying attention to the needs of the people on that
I said it right?
island,
Okay, thank you.
including the aftermath of Hurricane Maria.
Yeah, one thing, if you guys are new to my chat, one thing you'll learn is me pronouncing like words and names. Like, I will fuck up. Like, if there's ever a name that has even the slightest possibility of being fucked up, whether it's the name of a city or a state or a country or a person, whatever, if it can be fucked up, I will fuck it up, and royally. It's part of my gimmick, fucking up names.
I have announced also my plan that is about my opportunity economy writ large, but a specific target that will include a task force.
I hate McDonald's Trump. No, you don't understand the whole McDonald's thing with Donald Trump when he was doing the McDonald's thing. A lot of people saw that as like a, you know, a PR thing. You know, he was doing like a little PR tour to show support for like working class Americans or things like that, right? No, that's not the case. That's not what that was, okay? He was training for his new job when he loses the election, chat. He's getting ready for his new role of putting the fucking fries in the bag.
Focus on the needs of Puerto Rico, understanding that it has very specific needs in terms of upgrading and repairing its electrical grid, what it needs in terms of investment that will be public-private partnerships.
The Chicken Big Mac is tempting me though. You know what? The Chicken Big Mac is so good. Okay, I usually don't like a lot of these like specialty like items that like fast food places will do, especially since like they got on this kick of like naming meals or naming items, doing like collabs with like social media influencers or rappers or whatever. But let me tell you, the Chicken Big Mac, that shit is good. I just kind of thought that they would take a Big Mac and replace like the burger patties with like McChicken patties. Like I figured that's what they were gonna do. No, the meat that they use, like the chicken patty, is like a giant chicken nugget. And in my opinion, the chicken nuggets are like the last good thing on McDonald's menu. Because I've talked about this before, chat. I fucking hate McDonald's. I think McDonald's is fucking garbage. Okay? Like, you would think that a fat fuck like me would love me some McDonald's. I hate McDonald's, okay? But the Chicken Big Mac, that shit fucking slaps.
And I'm going to continue to do it. I'm very proud to have the support of folks like Bad Bunny and Jennifer Lopez and others who were supporting me before that nonsense last night at Madison Square Garden, and are supporting me because they understand that they want a president of the United States.
I miss the dollar menu. Everybody misses the dollar menu. Celestial Heart. Everybody misses the... I was looking... There's that popular meme, because I used to be a big Taco Bell guy back in the day. Because back in the day, like, that was the most bang for your buck you could get, was like Taco Bell's value menu. They used to have, what was it, the triple layer burrito or whatever the fuck it is? I forget. It's one of those burritos, and it was like 89 cents on the value meal back in the day. That same fucking burrito is almost $4 now, chat. Oh shit! Oh shit! $4 fucking dollars. It's insanity.
It was about uplifting the people and not berating, not calling America a garbage can, which is what Donald Trump, those are the words he has used.
Yeah, the 7-layer. Was it the 7-layer? Or no, it was the 5-layer. The beefy 5-layer burrito. It used to be 89 cents. Now it's almost $4 fucking dollars.
So there you go. I'll see you later.
Okay, so that's Kamala's comments on that. What else do we have here? Trump camp, like I said before, you know you fucked up when Trump's campaign is trying to distance itself from you. Let's see what the Trump campaign has to say about this. Here we go.
This morning, the Trump campaign distancing itself from comedian Tony Hinchcliffe after saying this about Puerto Rico at a Trump rally in New York's Madison Square Garden last night.
Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Jeez.
The campaign says this joke does not reflect the views of President Trump.
Funny enough, for those of you guys who don't know, Mrs. Tippy is half Puerto Rican. And yeah, she didn't take too kindly to this joke. She was not too fond of this joke.
Or the campaign. Former President Trump taking the stage, painting the country as a failing nation, though government data says otherwise. Trump also unveiling a new tax credit proposal.
And I'm announcing a new policy today that I will support a tax credit for family caregivers who take care of a parent or a loved one. It's about time that they were recognized, right?
Vice President Kamala Harris proposing a similar plan.
To be fair, it's the Trump campaign, not Trump himself distancing. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point, actually. Has Trump himself made any comments about those statements?
Weeks ago, Harris with a rally in Philadelphia.
We understand we have an opportunity before us to turn the page on the fear and the
Yeah, the audio panning's like really fucked here, isn't it?
divisiveness that have characterized our politics.
Sure, Xylie's not taking kindly to this joke either. She's proudly Puerto Rican, I believe. Oh, that's right. I think you're right.
For a decade because of Donald Trump.
A new poll from
Forgot about that because at this point, I don't think I've talked to Xylie in like going on 2 years almost.
ABC News and Ipsos shows Harris with a slight lead, 4 points nationally among likely voters.
Maybe that not that long, but it's been a pretty long time.
Trump is strongest on the economy and the border. Harris is most trusted on protecting democracy and abortion rights. When it comes to personal attributes, including mental sharpness and honesty, it's Harris ahead of Trump. Former President Obama on a Zoom call last night with the group Win with Black Men, raising more than $1 million in 4 hours. Former First Lady Michelle Obama defending Harris over the weekend in Michigan.
Some of us are choosing to ignore Donald Trump's gross incompetence while asking Kamala to dazzle us at every turn.
Today, Trump heads to Georgia to speak at the National Faith Advisory.
The audio for this video is literally all over the place. Like, can you decide if you want to be left channel, right channel, just stick with one or fix it? Like, what the fuck is going on with this video?
Advisory board, Harris travels to Michigan to discuss jobs and the economy.
Chips, you ever heard of the McGangbang? Lone Wolf. You think you get as fat as my fucking ass and think I don't know what a McGangbang is? Get out of here with that fucking noise.
2 states that could decide this election. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Okay, so there's that. What else do we got here? Oh, this is how, like, insane things have been, right? So we got this here. Gayfesh tweeting, God bless that racist comedian because of this right here. Come on, like, what the fuck? Jeez, it wouldn't click on it. While the president of Puerto Rican Republican Party is threatening to unendorse and not for Trump unless he apologizes for the comments made at the MSG rally, really is a political earthquake in Puerto Rican politics right now. So he really fucked up when he allowed those comments to be said at his rally. And then we have Riverboat Jack here tweeting, the GOP really fucked up by activating Puerto Ricans for Kamala Harris. They may very well wind up saving the election. So we have Don Omar, one of the most famous Puerto Rican reggaeton artists in the world, with 50 million followers on Instagram, just endorsed Kamala Harris. So that's a pretty big move. And Ellen DeGenerate showed up in the chat a little while ago to talk about, like, this video that they sent me. This is how far Trump's campaign is going to try and win back Latinos. They posted this video earlier this morning, and my God, like, it's so transparent what they're trying to do here. Listen to this.
I will vote for Donald Trump. Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump. Oh my God.
It's low-key a bop. I have seen some people saying this, like, it is sadly kind of catchy. It is sadly kind of catchy.
Winterrose 546 became a subscriber.
Thank you for that sub. I do appreciate it.
Because Canada's PM is very well liked. Either Trump makes him look good, not much.
Thank you for that sub. I do appreciate it.
I will vote. I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump. The people go.
This is like Trump, the Trump campaign way of saying we love the Latinos. We love all the Latinos, including the ones we plan to mass deport out of the country. Tips are always saying thanks for subs, but never thanks for top. Shaking my head. I mean, why would I thank myself?
How to vote, no fear, no more. Vote for Trump. Let's go. Vote for Trump. If you want to keep America great.
This is so fucking pathetic. This is so, like, you know what this is. Just don't pay attention to the statements that were said at our last big rally. We love Latino voters.
Vote for Trump. Let's do it. I vote for Trump.
Nice beat, but too late. Yeah, true. God, why does this feel like a? Oh my. Mystical Death. Why does this feel like a terrorist joining video? I think it'd be like terrorist propaganda. Oh, is this like the terrorist propaganda that Hassan was showing his audience on that one stream?
I don't believe in fake news. All I need is the truth. Because we love our country. We love it just like you. The economy. For Trump. Life is good. For Trump. Because we love our country. We love it.
You could tell they literally threw this video together like last minute. We gotta get the Latino voters back. We lost them because of that dipshit comedian. Please do something, anything to help me get the Latino voters back. Yeah, keep the beat and get rid of the lyrics, and this shit fucking slaps. Momu says, I see nothing but gringos. This is true. There are a lot of them there. Oh my God, Wayne Cotton says the MAGA are very musical people. Yo! Oh my God. The little girl's just like, why do I have to be here? What do I have to be here? The child is singing under duress. It sure seemed that way, didn't it? Jeez, that's so funny. But yeah, you know, this was a real fucking disaster for the Trump campaign. Like I said, I know I've said this like numerous times throughout this segment, but like what are you thinking? Letting someone like that speak at your rally so close to election day. Like, these are the final moments, right, where you can convince like undecided voters who to vote for. You do not want to make a mistake like this close to election day, and yet Donald Trump did exactly that. So bravo, Trump. Very well done. Get ready to put them fries in the bag, because honestly, like, it's going to be really tough for you to win after this one, because Latino voters, they come out strong. Okay, they show up to the polls strong, and you might have just fucked yourself and lost a hell of a lot of Latino voters because of that little stunt that comedian pulled at your rally. So good job, buddy.